Good day, dear listeners. We're here at another episode of the Bolster podcasts, and today we're exploring the methods of art and creativity that were used in our interventions during the Reactivate campaign. And I have with me my colleague Mariana.
Hello, hi, I'm Mariana, and I'm very excited to be talking about these interesting topics.
Mariana, we would like to discover how art and creativity play a role in the interventions that were planned. I remember we together were part of some activities like the visits to the urban gardens and so on, but I also know you're an artist yourself and you also work in the projects that relate to art. So we would be very happy to listen to your inputs. Also maybe coming from other aspects of the art involvement in the community engagement and community work. So my question is, how did art and creativity play a role in the project's activities of Bolster, where you were involved?
Art plays a role in everything we do in life. That's my thought. It's a very easy way to gather people, because sometimes by talking or by doing something very strict, people get detached from that, while having an artistic approach to some topic, some issue, some problem, or some solution, people have a way to express themselves that is more fitting to their needs and to what they want to do. So for that, art can be a common ground for people to come together and find solutions and work together and build community. In Bolster, for example, one of the things that comes to my mind that was very interesting was the festival insights. By having different stalls with different kind of approaches, by being able to plan things and create little pods, or by having a game in the street where people would step in and play the game, or by having a stall with clothes and they could almost do a fashion show and try on different clothes that are secondhand. All of these are artistic approaches that can be used to bring the community in and that attract different layers of society. So this was very interesting for me, and we saw, for example, a group of students coming in with their teachers that they heard this was going to happen, so they came and they were very fascinated with everything that was happening and trying out the different things. And this was also a point of contact between other people that were already involved in the festival, other locals that were passing by, and then the young people. So I would say for sure art is in any way that is performed, art is a very important way to bring in fresh perspectives and to have fun while doing something, while learning about something. And then it is also a place for contacts, to meet people, to have conversations and slowly build a community.
So can we say art can be inclusive?
Art should be inclusive. Of course, we can look at different ways of art. Sometimes it is not inclusive, but I think if it's grounded in a bottom-up approach, where people from the community are involved in deciding what the approach is, what can we do? Can we use our best assets from ourselves, from our history, from our culture to create something? Then for sure it is an inclusive approach, because it's by the people, for the people.
Through the means of different creative tools. All right. My next question is, what impact do cultural actions, such as maybe musicals, festivals, urban gardening, have on social cohesion? You've answered already that it creates this group dynamics, but could there be more like conflicts coming if people cannot decide on things, or would rather bring people together?
I would say that these community gardens that we visited in different cities, actually, this for sure is something that will bring cohesion in terms of people working together, but it would also bring conflicts. Why? Because when people work together, when they are deciding on things together, conflicts are natural to appear. But it's the way that is monitored, that the cohesion happens, that there is time for people to get to know each other, to work together, that these conflicts become constructive conflicts. And it actually may teach communities to learn how to work together on smaller issues. So for example, should I plant tomatoes here or cucumbers, and that can be a conflict that can be resolved in a community garden. But then this learning component on how to deal with these conflicts can be transferred to other big issues in society, and it can empower people to know how to act and how to talk to each other also. I think in all these type of activities, yes, conflict can appear, but it's a safe space for conflict, and conflict doesn't need to be a bad thing. It's about finding compromise and learning how to work together.
So if the people come from different backgrounds and might not always speak the same language, do you think it would still work if they have a common activity?
Especially when it's an artistic approach or a hands-on approach, let's say, because there is a lot that we can do by not talking, by doing it and showing each other how to do it, and through that experience also learning to read the other person and what do the other person need from me and what can I do to support them. This common ground is a fertile soil for working on that.
That's a nice metaphor. Thank you for bringing it up. All right, maybe to sum it up, what do you think from your perspective are the key learnings, key takeaways that could be used in other contexts from these tools, from these methodologies and approaches?
Ask people what they want to do. Invite them to the table. Sit with them. Give them time to think about what do they care about. Why do they want to be part of some kind of solution? What do they want to spend their time doing? Give them time to know each other. It's not just about the task or the action itself, but it's about creating the group. So give them time for that, to get to know each other, to create relationships, to build community. Ask them what they want to do and then support them in their needs. Know that the plan may change, and give space for that adaptation, flexibility, and support for the people to thrive.
Very, very thoughtful. And also adaptive, like being able to use flexibility when working with the people with different groups, with also maybe newcomers and those who stayed longer. I think it's really insightful for other cases that might use the same approaches or other organizations willing to engage with communities. Mariana, any final comments that you would like to share with the people who listen to our podcast?
We're excited for the next Zeitz Festival, which grew into an even more local-based one. And so we are starting to see really the results happening and the lasting effect of the interventions that were started. And so we're excited to see what comes next.
So the seeds got roots, yes, and the leaves and flourishing now into new wonderful initiatives just by giving time and space and support. Thank you so much, Mariana. Very wonderful to have you with us and to learn from these experiences. And we will be back with another podcast of Bolster.
Bye-bye.